I started playing piano when I was 5 years old. I started in a piano lab with a bunch of other little kids, and then I had the same piano teacher from when I was 6 years old until I graduated high school. And I remember my parents were like, you know what, as I grew older and I got more involved in sports and I was playing other instruments and I wanted to be involved in theater as well, and I was involved in a lot of church activities. I was involved in a lot of extracurriculars growing up in junior high and high school. I remember one time I had a less than stellar report card. And I had a conversation with my parents. Actually, they had the conversation with me. I knew it was going to be a tough conversation. I didn't really want to hear what they had to say. I'm sure they didn't really want to say it the way that they were going to say it. It was probably a pretty awkward conversation. But what came out of it was, Jason, you can give up anything, but you can't give up piano. You can't give up piano. And I remember like, oh man, there's so many other things that I really want to do. That might have been an option if it was on the table. But I'm thankful that now I have the capability, I have the ability to play this instrument because I practiced it every single day growing up. In fact, I also remember sometimes my dad telling me in the morning when I was practicing at 6 a.m., my dad would from the other room, when I would hit a wrong note, just be like, that's wrong, do it again, it's wrong, do it again. I can still kind of hear that when I'm playing piano because practice makes perfect. I would say the same thing about your spiritual habits. Practice actually does make perfect. Put into practice these spiritual habits, and it's actually going to make you better at life. One of those spiritual habits is prayer. It's a conversation between you and God. It's a conversation that you may feel awkward about. You may feel awkward because you're not really sure, how to pray, and that's okay. But the more you do it, the better at it you will become. The more you do it, the more times you talk with God, the better at talking with God you will be. And oftentimes, in addition to feeling awkward, sometimes we feel uncertain. Uncertainty creeps up into our prayer life all the time, especially if you're new into prayer. Uncertainty about, how to pray. Uncertain about, is somebody even really listening? Is God really even there listening? And if he is listening, does he even care what I have to say? And if he does care what I have to say, is he really going to do anything about it? Am I just kind of speaking up nonsense into the air, or is the God of the universe actually on the other end of the line, listening intently to what I have to say? As you pray more and more and more, you will get confident that, hey, you have direct line between you and God. That God cares what you have to say. He cares what's important to you. He cares what's on your mind and what's on your heart. He cares if there's things that you've fallen short in, and he cares about the things that you want to thank him about and worship him for. And he cares about all that. Not only does he care, but he wants to act on your behalf. But put it into practice. Increase your prayer life. In fact, for the next 5 minutes today, I would encourage you to go to him and just begin to talk to him like you would one of your closest friends. Somebody that you can vent to, somebody that you can be real with, that you can be raw with, that you can say, hey, this is what's on my heart. These are the things that I need. In fact, he is somebody that's closer than probably your best friend, because he is somebody who you can divulge all your emotions and all your needs to. Those things that you are hiding from everybody else. Please go to God with him. You will find out that not only is he listening, not only does he care, he wants to help you. So for the next 5 minutes today, just spend some time talking to God.